Costs me $20 every time. But it's a necessary trip. I mean, holy hell. I gotta find a place, ground floor, where I can put my shit that it's safe, that's not on a leg. The problem is, Ryan, he seems to be under some sort of drug-induced psychosis. His perception of reality is fucked. I get those folks that are over there. I do. You know, they don't want to be out in the cold. You know, and I passed out blankets. There's a reason I did that. It's fucking cold. Ryan did the right thing by giving me a blanket. I do have my own blankets up there in the mountains. They're wet. I was able to get back to my camp. It sucked. I'm gonna spend some money I don't have on something I do need. I don't give a shit about the coffee. I care about the company. I care about being talked to like I'm a human being. Fuck. There's no way for me to get anything done. I can't get away from the goddamn tweakers. They're fucking everywhere. Yeah, I get to hear all of your, oh, well, they're people too, they're people too. Yeah, but they're ripping us the fuck off and we have no money. All right, I have to live on 800 fucking bucks a month, and I have to depend on fucking junkies because people like Nicole Vertner don't want to do their jobs. But it's fine because she's not the one experiencing it. She's not the one out here homeless. She's not the one out here being treated like a fucking junkie when they go to the hospital. Take a look at her job, business administration. Is it her job to help out the victims? No. No, it's not. Business administration. But that's not the only job she has or the only oath she took. Ryan is getting taken advantage of like a motherfucker. And then there's all this, oh, well, he wants this, and he wants, are you fucking kidding me? He's out of his goddamn mind. Brian is never going to pay that $40 back. None of these other tweakers are going to pay it back either. I knew that when I handed it to him. I knew that there was a tiny, tiny, tiny chance they might come through this once. And a really, really, really big chance that they would fucking lie to me, mislead the situation, make me do it myself, and cost me money, cost me time. I'm told about all these good people. Where? Where are these good people? Everywhere I go, I run into nice people. Meanwhile, I'm getting ready to pay some money to go buy a coffee so I can pretend that I'm a human and stand there and talk to somebody who isn't allowed to be an asshole to me. Well, they really are. If I'm an asshole to them. I'm not out trying to hurt anybody. I jumped through all the hoops that I'm supposed to. You don't get that I don't have any fucking rights. The moment someone says mentally ill, my rights go right out the fucking window. And these people getting stuck on one little bit or piece. Like, could you take a look at the fucking situation I'm living in? Instead of blowing me off like this is some fucking easy thing to do this through, understand how much there is. Everyone in Tillamook knows how crooked the fucking cops are. The ones who like the cops are the ones who benefit. That'd be the ones with money or the ones who work somewhere that people have money. Like, sure, most of the employees at Safeway don't have any money. And outside of Safeway, people might not give two shits, especially the cops. I mean, they're working at Safeway. It's not like they're getting $800,000 a year or even $100,000 a year to a police officer. I'm out here being pawned off on these druggies by people like Nicole Vertner. They've yet to send me to one peer support worker who is fucking sober. What good are they gonna do? They're not sober. Top of the morning.
How you doing?
Dealing with racists, dealing with assaults, dealing with a lot of tweakers. There is no safe place to go to get the hell away from the tweakers.
Yeah, I was worried about you. I've been praying for you. I saw that your window got smashed. Somebody try to assault you or just break in and steal your stuff?
Now, that actually happened a while ago. That happened last year. Just usually over there, you could only see the other side.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I did the other day, though, when I walked by it.
Yeah, I get harassed and assaulted pretty frequently. If it's not the cops, then it's,
Surprised if somebody tried to...
oh, sorry.
Somebody tried to,
Well, most of the people I deal with in the average day are like Nick. You know, they're pretty all right during the day, but once they get that little bit of whatever their substance is, they're gone. Or
Or they haven't had any for a while and they're just running around acting like an animal.
yeah.
Like this guy was watching the news this time. He was just trying to break stuff. I mean, literally kicking everything, smashing stuff. Because he was probably dope sick and was probably, fiending.
Well, I moved my stuff over to the guy's house a couple blocks down. I can literally see the garage from, well, that truck was anyway. And, the guy who's there, he's been given so many drugs by homeless folks. The homeless tweakers, they spend all their money on tweaks, or they've got a homeless camp. But then they want to go over to this guy's house because it's warm. I get it. It's also a place where they can do the drugs and not have to worry about the police coming and scratching on their tent or, serving a warrant on it. It's a place where they can go and sit down and smoke their heart's content, get dumb as fucking stump, stay up all night and make empty promises. But
whatever that means. It's funny though.
It is.
Whatever it means, it's still funny.
So I got all my stuff, well, not all my stuff over there. I only put in a little bit. I got to go back over there and grab it all out. I just put it in there yesterday.
Well, yeah, you don't want any of those guys deciding they want it.
Yeah, plus that Dora lady, she gets me.
Who, the lady that owns the property?
No, she's
one of the ladies that
Hawaiian
goes over there.
Yeah.
Dora, which one is she?
She's the heavy-set Hawaiian lady with the big mole on her face.
Ooh, yeah, you ain't lying. She
She's
can
mean.
go on. She can just go off. See, you know what I mean? People like that don't, if they can't stay high, they just lose it.
Well,
And when they are high, they walk around like zombies all day.
They promise they'll do this, they'll do that, but they just never show up. They want money, but they don't want to do anything for it. They're constantly asking for cigarettes.
Well, that's been a pandemic for 10 years.
I don't mind sharing cigarettes. I just mind sharing with people who don't contribute anything back. Brian knows that dude is so mentally incapacitated that he can't make decisions for himself. And so Brian is taking complete advantage of that. He's also telling me, oh, well, it's fine to put this stuff over there. Well, I wanted to check this guy and make sure it was all right. Like, it's definitely not all right, and I gotta move my stuff. Next thing I know, they're gonna
turn. You don't look like you've been sleeping very well.
I don't. Last night I got a much better night's sleep because I got a blanket, but you know, with people beating on my vehicle and threatening to kill me and all that other crap, like it's just.
Oh yeah, you're well liked in the community.
My God, last night I went up to camp, and on my way out to camp I stopped because some people was screaming some stuff out the window. So then they drove by and screamed again while I was recording, and then they drove by and threw shit at my vehicle. I'm like, man, I don't know who their parents are, but if I did, I'd have a mind to put them over my knee and. Just kidding. I don't believe in spanking people's parents.
I don't know how you end up around all that stuff, man. I very rarely do I even see it. I guess I just am able to avoid it somehow.
Because
see,
I
I'm
need
not
help.
like you. I can't. I'm not gonna help someone. I'm not gonna help anybody like that.
See, I wasn't going out of my
street.
way to help those people. I was trying to get some help for me.
Yeah.
And that's something folks don't get. Like Nicole Vertner, she's the lady at the hospital who's a business administrator, and she's also one of the volunteers to feed us down at the Seventh-day Adventist. But she was one who pawned me off on Brian, and Brian is so twacked out of his gourd, he doesn't know up from down, left from right. But he's got it, you know, better off mentally than the guy who's staying in the house. And then Dora came over last night, and she was wanting to, what are you doing here? Like, what did I do? Did I give you permission to be here? She lives over at St. Albans Church. Well, the building just north of it. I don't know if it's a bank or a credit union or what, but she sleeps in a little alcove there. The guy who's renting the house, he told me after I started moving my stuff in that he's been served papers and they're trying to evict him, and he's saying that he's got until the end of September to get paperwork in. I'm like, this dude is so out of his gourd though, all fucked up. Like, people show up there, they know, hey, if I give him some drugs, that he might let me stay a little bit longer.
Right.
Of course,
well,
then
that
he's
works.
doing more drugs than everybody, and he has no clue what's going on.
Right. No. Yeah, yeah.
Nick, when I said Nick wasn't that bad, he really wasn't that bad.
Well, I had to cut loose of him because he went off on me one night. That's I'm a one strike person. I don't do 3 strikes, 4 balls. I don't do anything.
I don't either. But the thing is, if I can avoid people quite a bit, but because of my disabilities, a lot of stuff is not possible.
Sure.
And then when I'm being sent to services that are sending me to tweakers to get help, I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with the hospital?
Oh, the hospital. Yeah, why? Yeah, I have no idea why they would do that.
Well, she's a hospital worker, but she pawned me off on him over at the Seventh-day Adventist Church while I was trying to talk about some pretty serious stuff. Like, I'm disabled. I obviously can't take care of myself.
That church up there does a lot, though.
They do.
Considering what resources are really out there
That's
anymore,
bullshit.
they really do.
That's bullshit. There are a ton of resources, and they're being horribly wasted, horribly mismanaged.
Well, I don't know.
I've taken a look at what they're spending it on here, and they're wasting money. They're literally going out of their way to waste money so their friends have jobs at places like GCCHC, GCC, or
See, I don't consider
whatever the hell it's called.
I don't consider money resource. That's a Band-Aid. It's always been a Band-Aid. It always will. You can't throw money at everything and fix it. It doesn't work that
Well,
way.
it's not. You also have to have
the people that have vision for
you have
progressive
to have
thinking.
a support network as a disabled person, though. I mean, they're not going to listen to me.
They're not what?
They're not going to listen to me. As far as the police are concerned, I might as well be a tweaker out here trying to rape everybody's kids and shit. Sorry, pardon my French.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
go
what.
get a
I don't
coffee,
know what.
though.
The thing is, you're crying the same thing you're probably crying a year ago. It isn't going to change.
I'm not crying. I'm working on changing it, and that's why I tell people about it, because people can change it as long as they
You're not
stop
going to
saying it
change
won't.
it.
You can.
Personally, I'm not going to change it. Need help.
A little
You
bit at
need
a time.
help.
You're right.
Find the right people.
And see, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I can tell.
Are we trying
Go
to
ahead.
get it? Okay.
I got time.
Okay, thanks. Just get a drip errand, as possible. Errand, yeah, as possible. Just want your drip coffee, your tight drip. Yeah, we open at 9. Saturday's a little bit easier. Sundays are kind of, Sundays right after church. Yeah, Hillbrook Pharmacy closing, it's crazy. I'll come back, I'll come back, smoke. Yeah, yeah. Huh? I'm gonna go smoke, I'll come back and grab every spot.
Me? Woo! I want a Miller Genuine Draft Light and a Big Mac. Okay, well in that case, I'd like a tall cup of coffee and a grande cup with cream and 10 sugar and a Roz and a stir stick. 10. Yep. I'm all about the diabetic coma in the morning. I got to go up the mountain.
It's like a running. That's right. So it's like you got the right off.
Yeah.
Mine's next moment.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you'll notice, but I'm kind of old and slow, and I don't mind if you take your time. Sorry, my hands don't want to work today. Please, man. Ten. 10. Sugar in the wrong. There is. Put them under the counter. Oh, could I get some food? Sorry. That's perfect. You're tired. I don't want to eat chicken. I'm already eating chicken. Yep.
I don't know what she's working on right now. Is that the only drop down for you?
Nope, I'll be back probably around noon to get $2 worth of that macaroni and cheese, more likely.
We'll have it. I'll get for you.
I'll take your barbecue.
Well, we're trying to figure out which one's the great pumpkin.
So she'll take care of that.
Hey, listen, what I said earlier, I didn't mean it towards you at all.
Oh, you're good.
About you.
We're all allowed to get frustrated.
No, I didn't mean the way it came out. I didn't mean like crying, like it was you crying. I meant like
Well, because you don't have that function.
effective change is just difficult,
It is.
you know, and one person standing up, you know, telling them they need to change. I don't even know if it really matters all that much. I live a minimalist lifestyle because I don't want to give to the government as little as
That's the
possible.
way I was until I hurt my back. I didn't need nothing from nobody. But then when I hurt my back, I realized that's what real crazy comes from, is you realize you need help and there ain't none.
Right. So yeah, as far as getting help in a system that's completely broken and not wanting to change, they just keep pumping the same people at us, you know, to keep this thing rolling forward in their own agenda, and so that's all it is.
Yeah, the police send me to mental health. Mental health wants me off on peer support. Peer support around here is a bunch of tweakers. I don't have anything common with a tweaker.
I don't know why anybody would send you to tweakers anyway.
Because that's the peer support they have out here. Most of the homeless out here are on drugs.
Gonna have to.
So when they have a peer support worker, they've got maybe 1 in 30 people who's out here on the street that's actually sober. And that person just wants to stay away from everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Stay sober.
Exactly. But then, you know,
Keeps your sharpness.
like Nick, for example, you even observe he's pretty all right when he's not drinking. But once he gets that one drop in, he just changes.
And he justifies it by saying, well, I'm not an alcoholic, I only drink when I got money.
You know?
So
All right,
alcoholism at its
day.
finest. I only drink when I got money.
When he told me he only has 1 beer a day, he came out with the
Step on it. Why do you
biggest
let
beer
it
they
out?
have.
the one beer, the 80 ounce.
You know,
It's the only beer I drink. Which one?
it's the one that is such an off-brand. You will literally never hear of it anywhere but Tillamook. But they have it on the shelf, and it's the biggest one they got for
And
that.
it's $2.99.
Yeah.
It's on sale always because nobody drinks it.
Now, which one of these did Cinderella's drunk backside fall out of? I bet you it was that one.
The one that's green. It's the green one. Yeah, yeah.
It was green. It changed colors like 3 or 4 different times. That was actually
Thank you.
I yelled at an advocate lady that works for a secular program that supposedly helps people on the bus yesterday, and she was saying, there's this woman that lives in Seaside who's about ready to lose her feet. I mean, they're completely almost black at this point, so they're getting ready to get cut off. But she's like, we have people in our office that would love to follow her around for the day and give her a wellness check.
oh,
And I went,
great.
and I just finally, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I just had to say,
That's their
That's
lazy
exact-
for everything. Wellness check, wellness check. No,
Right.
she wasn't abused. We're doing a wellness check to make sure she's not harming herself or others.
Right.
Like she was just fucking raped, dumbass. Her feet are getting ready to fall off and she got frostbite. Oh, there's that guy in Kentucky. Man, that would be the worst way to go. Not getting frostbite. You get diabetes. You get boot rot.
that's exactly what she
And with the boot rot,
and nobody's helping her. She's actually literally sleeping sitting up in a bus stop, a bus shelter. I mean, I don't have a lot of money to give, but I finally was able to like get a couple people to help me and put her in a room for a couple of days so she could get off of her feet and rest. And
see,
and
you were
get 'em. So
absolutely
she
right
goes
about
to
it.
the-
Wasn't the money that was the help. It was the people who helped to do that.
Right.
Just a little bit of humanity here and there, but you also got to pick and choose.
But they
the
need to
warriors and
they need
battles.
to step up and do something.
Not you. What I meant is me or all of us as a homeless community. Those of us who are sober.
These homeless
shouldn't be kicking
these
each other
homeless
in the
dudes
teeth.
don't care about getting inside.
You're
They
right.
don't. I hate to say it. They don't. Most of them don't
What
really
they care about is getting their drugs. And
Right.
they know that once they got their drugs, well, it doesn't matter that it's free.
Because if you put a baggie, you put a baggie at an opportunity in front of them to get help, they're gonna take the baggie every time. And I hate to say it, but that's just what I've seen. And I mean,
Every time I get drugs, I bring it right here to the Safeway and give it to the managers. That's not a joke. On my YouTube channel, like 4 different times, I go in there and I'm like, "There's
somebody just
needles
gave them
out
to you.
there." Yeah.
Or
One
you
guy
just picked
over
something
there, he goes by Moss. And he gave me
It goes by what?
Moss.
Oh, I
He's
think
from Arizona, and he
Moss.
handed me 2 fentanyl pills. So I brought them here and gave them to Miriam, and Miriam told me she thinks they're like oxycodone. And then there was the 2 needles.
Were
I
they
found
blue?
those- Yeah. But there was also the 2. Well, the guy who gave it to me told me it was fentanyl.
Well, that's what they call them, the blues.
You know,
'Cause they're blue.
but
Different color blue, different stuff in them, right? So
when I found the 2 needles over there, I came in and I told them about it. I came back like an hour later, they were still there. I was like, people who come and do this cam stuff, I see them all the time out here with their kids. I mean, that is literally right across the wall. It's steps for a toddler to go from right next to your parents to playing with that kid. So I took them in there, and then there was the pill that I found on the floor in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave it where a kid can grab it and stick it in their face.
right.
Ugh.
It's bad out there, man. And then you go to the inner city, it's even worse. So it's like Portland and Seattle are just a nightmare right now.
Well, that's what they keep trying to pawn us. But then if you go through the system the way they want you to, you get assaulted. What you're supposed to do is go to the police. But because you're a homeless
no, you
person,
don't
they
go
make you go to mental health. Mental health wants to set you up for therapy month after month after month after
For
month.
getting assaulted.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, go to therapy for that. I don't need therapy. I need to be out of my car.
Yeah.
I need to be off the streets. That's the whole point of it all.
But then, you know, when they want to push the housing thing, they're not actually pushing anything realistic. Because if you're victimized on the streets right now and you see your predator every single day, and you have to duck and skirt and hide because they're that messed up on drugs and that hateful, like, yeah, something does need to be done.
And there really isn't a lot of housing options, to be honest. It's just not there.
They
And
need
they,
to stop
I heard that
pushing
they
it
just,
with
I heard
it.
they're getting ready to raise it again at the first of the year.
The thing is,
10% cap
if
on
you're going,
housing.
if you're going to the place because you need housing, then yeah, focus on the housing. If you're going there because you were just assaulted, we need to turn that in immediately so that we can put a stop to it. And the housing can wait until your second session because it's going to take 2 to 4 years to get housing.
Right. Well, yeah, if you're lucky.
Now, while
If you're a single white male, it's going to take more than that.
you're right. I was able to
Because
get
everybody's
housing.
getting bumped
The
up.
problem is that I was being victimized while I was in housing, and still I didn't have any friends or family to help turn it in. I tried to turn it into the cops. They send me to mental health. Mental health tells me it's the cop's job, and then the victimization continues. A guy named Chris Kirk was allowed to harm me 4 or 5 different times. A guy named Robert Warnick was allowed to assault me on 2 different occasions. That guy's a registered sex offender, by the way. And then there's Derek Apodaca.
Oh, they'll just tell. Well, I heard they'll tell you just do homeless justice. It's homeless justice out there. You guys figure it out.
Well, they do tell us that. A lot of times the cops will come down and tell us who the child molesters are.
That's good.
But that was in Boulder, Colorado. Here, the cops are running around anybody that they don't like, anybody that tries to turn a police officer in. All of the cops run around saying, oh, well, he's a druggie, he's schizophrenic, or he tried to kill somebody. And like Officer Loftman here has been running around telling all sorts of homeless tweeters that I killed somebody. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is an actual police
No, I
officer.
heard you were. I heard. What did I hear? I heard a rumor.
Yeah, I heard lots of rumors.
No, it was one about being a sex offender or something, or you did something to some young
And see, that's
woman
the
or
thing,
something.
is that rumors that get people killed, and that shit was started by the cops.
Probably.
I even have the people that they were running around telling that to. That includes tweakers who showed up last night at the place I got my stuff at. I went, holy shit, you have the worst of the worst at your house, my man. The guy
Right.
really does. Plus, he's got.
But he doesn't care because that's where he gets all his drugs from.
Yeah. And then there's like
Oh, it's free
actual
drugs.
pedophiles that come and mess with me. I got recordings of like 4 or 5 different people just here in town screaming and shouting and hooting and hollering. One of them right over there at the cam thing. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? You know, he wanted to.
They just don't have anything else
He
to
wanted to
do.
accuse me of doing drugs. Wanted to accuse me of murdering people. Wanted to accuse me of being a child molester. I'm like, you know, the moment I called him a pedophile, he didn't like it. The moment I said he was a druggie, he didn't like it. He wanted to get in my face, get physically confrontational, get pushy, get shoved. He even swung at me more than once. What am I going to do? I can't defend myself, and I can't go to the cops. They're the ones running around spreading the rumors.
You need a-
assaulted.
You need a Kingsman cane. On that, you know, your cane,
I-
and then it pops out the knife at the end and just a big sticker.
You know what?
She agrees.
You're not the only person to suggest that. I had a guy he gave me a cane that's a 22 long rifle, and I told him to keep it.
Damn! I'm not doing this if they're gonna have all these bad ones you're gonna pull out. I didn't agree to that. Look at that.
They hid it underneath the pile. They hid it underneath the pile. It's like, this is all throwaway money, right? They know people are just gonna take one if they want one. So this is on their loss list here. But anyway, I got I just recently I met this guy, really cool dude, and he happens to kind of look like the Gordon's Fisherman. Kind of rolls around in a white van and just gets that label as being a perv. I mean, literally.
Well, that's what he gets for driving in a white van. He must touch children. I bet you he has a puppy and some candy, doesn't he?
In the back.
I shouldn't laugh at that. That's not even funny.
I know it's not. I just happened to be labeled one too because I was with him, so we were all of a sudden partners and some kind of. It was cool, sex ring or something we were doing.
Well, I've been helping to find missing people for years, and one of the things that I'm good at finding and sniffing out is actual crap. The sheriff here, Chief of Police, Ray Rao, he was doing exactly what I was telling you he was doing. and they actually arrested him since then. Then there's the other officers that took in it with him. One of them is Officer Lothman, and there's also an officer that a lot of people like here, Deputy Reeves, and he actually assaulted a girl right there.
Wow.
Yep, I got that on camera too.
Oh, you good? Good. Well, that's you're. I mean, I hate to say it, my friend, that you're basically making yourself a target by video and all.
I
this
was
stuff.
already a target, so it doesn't matter if I video. That's the thing I try.
No,
to
I mean,
explain
I'm
to
just
people.
saying that you.
If somebody comes up and kicks you in the nuts, and then every time you see them, they come up and kick you in the nuts, so you start recording, do you deserve to get kicked in the nuts because you recorded them coming up and kicking you in the
No,
nuts?
no, of course not.
The moral of the story is I'm not running up and kicking anybody in their chest.
Well, that's good.
I didn't mean to say
Because
that.
then you'd have to record it.
You're good. I have three teenagers.
I think that would be a good thing to see.
Chickens would be
Hello.
good to love them.
This is Shock Channel, YouTube. We're gonna go around and kick every pedophile in the nuts today.
I know dang well.
Right? Well, see, all right, first of all, I do agree with the death penalty for pedophiles, but I don't agree with the death penalty at all because there are many false accusations. I mean, being a dude today means you can't walk across the Safeway parking lot without women looking at you like you're a rapist, especially if you got a beard. There's women who have
I don't think they're.
literally gawked at me
Well,
as
I
I
gotta
walked
pull it
across
from
the
over
parking
here.
lot. Sorry.
I think women don't look at you like this. I think they look at you like. They think you would be a great partner. Women love the beard on them. Yeah, they do.
I'm allergic to men and
I had a woman come up to me and ask me if she could sit on my face and if Mrs. Claus wouldn't mind. And I said yes, but then she was joking, but I think she had some kind of Santa Claus fetish anyway. I get that. It's not like they're looking at me like I'm a rapist. Like they're looking at me like, what are you doing for the next half an hour?
For me, the ones who outright stare at me are often hostile. Many of them, especially the ones in the parking lot, I've seen them, they stare at 3 or 4 different guys that way. They're all unattractive. These guys haven't done anything. They're just ugly as shit.
So you're falling into that category now?
I don't mind being ugly. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I don't keep myself well kept or pretty for the ladies.
You are.
I wouldn't kiss them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of women that would. Women that like that kind of stuff.
And this is the part where I'm supposed to make mentally ill jokes, right?
You already told me you didn't like body fluids. Right? You're already one strike in the hole before you even get started. So
Exactly.
it's kind of a tough one. Makes even masturbation not fun, huh? It's like, what do you do?
Well, not in
You
public.
just let go. You just make sure you cover yourself in
Oh, now you're getting all sorts of way.
out of it.
That's a little further south than I was willing to go.
That's not very far. Oh well.
Well, I'm pretending to be a couth individual and an upstanding public member of the public.
Yeah, I think your videos kind of show. I mean, if people actually public. I just, I'm not saying you can't make some shit around here, but it's gonna take some good old boy people too as well to be in on it because they don't listen to nobody.
These good
around
old
here.
boys are trying to scare me out of town, and it hasn't worked yet.
Huh?
Also, there's a whole bunch of Hispanic people looking out for me more than anybody else. And that right there is absolutely spectacular because there's a lot of people that drive by and they give you the look of disdain, you know the one. Now, most people, when they're looking at you, they're just squinting to the suns in their eyes, or they're trying to see if, traffic's coming. It's not a mean thing, but some people do that.
See, all that stuff doesn't bother me anymore because it's happened. The 10 years I've been out here since I passed away, it still happens every time I walk by a car with somebody and then they'll lock the door if the door's unlocked. I mean, it's just not right. It's
The
society of it.
is being aware of it, though, observing it, and then, well, for example, they say those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. right? But if you do know your history, you're still surrounded by idiots who didn't pay attention in history class, and they're still going to repeat it. There's nothing you can do but watch.
I think the history we're building right now is the worst history we've seen.
I agree, and that's why I decided to.
That's why it doesn't matter about all the BLM and all this stuff.
I just yanked out my man pond and I let it flow now.
Well, I will say this: you ladies are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm
If
still
they don't
here,
appreciate,
standing here looking at
they
the
don't
pumpkin.
appreciate it, then
They can come get it done themselves.
exactly. Very good. Very good.
Well, all right. So that one right there is dented in the wrong areas. We should throw it away.
I think they all should be thrown away. Half the ones are up. It was way too early to get them in. Way too early.
Maria, you know,
I don't know how.
Naughty, naughty.
Well, at least you have enough. So you're doing all right. You got enough money for coffee. That's good. It's late in the month. The only problem with people like us who have a little bit of an income, we can't afford to rent anything anyway. So we pretty much are staying.
$822 a month, and my money for next month is what I just got yesterday, and it's gone already.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta pay bills for my vehicle, and then I gotta pay
Oh, right.
storage. I gotta pay for my telephone.
Storage at the dude's house?
No,
Oh,
I got a
different
storage unit, but
Oh,
it's
that's
on the
right,
second story, and I can't get up there. Like, I need a first floor storage, basically just walking stuff away from myself where I can't. It does me no good.
Well, if you ever need any help with anything, just you know where I am. I'm either right here. I sit right here and look at all those women fondle the pumpkins, or I'm over at the library over there.
Well, I hope they're not fondling pumpkins at the library.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do.
That was my nickname as a kid. That's terrifying.
What, pumpkin?
Pumpkin. I'm gonna give you one guess as to
No,
why.
I'm not gonna leave it alone because I already had the thoughts going through my head. So.
That was Rotan. Is that a nice way of saying
I'm
it?
wrong with being a
I think it
pumpkin.
looks great, but now we gotta give you
I like being a pumpkin. See, I don't have any addictions, except for one, and that is I like to eat good food, and so that's my choice. So that's my
Your body, your choice.
my fentanyl, my fentanyl, and that's what I do.
Your fentanyl is food.
Right. Well, the thing about addicts, we always find something to be addicted to. So, I don't really like porn. This makes me laugh. Still. I mean, the fact that Ron Jeremy's still getting laid is amazing.
Isn't he in prison? Oh God. Oh God.
What are the pumpkins with teeth?
There's a bunch of jokes go right along with that.
Exactly. He's just not getting paid for it anymore. Yeah, it's a pretty nice.
She's gotta go up more. She does? Yeah.
All right, we're going to battle with the great pumpkins. Oh wait.
Sounds like a plan, because I'm over it. I actually want one.
There we go. Now it's jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Ah!
Better travel over to my vehicle before I get in trouble for existing. Although I'm not sure if you noticed, but the folks who are here are not being jerks to me. Thank you for not being jerks. Well, most of the people who work here are super nice. There's also people who are direct, who are generally my favorites. Like Miss Cynthia is usually pretty direct with me, although she likes to make jokes. And Candy is pretty direct, but she likes to make jokes. Oh, come on now. You're right. You can't have a name like that and not have a
Testing
sense of
on
humor.
it, you're struggling with
I may
it,
not be
okay?
truth in the situation, but I'm right.
That one needs moved.
Kind of like if your name is Faith or Joy, you're gonna catch no end of the rap shit about your name. Especially if it's Joy.
Okay, so if your name's Candy, and you know, said what kind of shit do you put for that?
I don't know, but
People just
I've
start-
literally never met a woman named Galaxia. Just saying.
I have. She had a stripper pole right in the middle of her. So
See, that's what I'm missing out
Have an
on
apple
in life. I would be a much happier man if I was to just go to those places. No, I wouldn't.
it's expensive.
Stop it, you stupid little.
It used to be a dollar.
What are they?
You know, to get a
She's not gonna eat.
It's gross. All the stuff that I grew up being taught was like, not okay. And then you go to a strip club and you're like, all of it's okay.
Perfect.
You did coke out of a what?
We also gotta do way over there.
I don't think this is a family appropriate conversation.
It is not. All right, my friend.
You safe, Craig. I'm not the one who's so far away. Dagnabbit. Holy shit. No, it's a bullet casing. Looks like it's 223 Remington. But I picked it up at camp last night and I set it on top of my car so I could read it in the morning, and it's just right on the lip of my vehicle and it stayed there all night.
I
Say.
sold a 223 to one of my buddies a while back for $800.
$800?
Yeah. It was like 25 years old.
I choose not to carry guns or keep guns, but that's just because the way I live. Had to get me shot.
Yeah, I just sold mine because I didn't really need it.
I think it'd be sure nice if people would stop trying to give me weapons. That right there would be a good one. Everybody seems to have hurting people and killing people on their first list of go-to things to say. I'm like, that doesn't help out much. talking about killing people, number one, doesn't get him killed, and number two, doesn't stop him from hurting other people. It's just talking.
Yeah, just go out and do it.
Could I pretend I like you for a cigarette? I broke my last one. I got paid all my money for next month on the 29th of this month. It's all friggin' gone already.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I keep trying to depend on people who are not on drugs, but they all have jobs. Like that Candy lady. She's super nice, but she's got a job. And that Cynthia lady, she's super nice, but she's got a job and she's got a family.
Yeah.
I don't have a family, and that's the problem. That's what makes me so vulnerable. Nobody recognizes my disabilities or how it affects me. They're like, well, can't you just do this? Why don't you ask these people? The folks at the hospital and the police both pawn me off on tweakers. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is not community support. This is waiting on a tweaker to get his fixed so that he can talk at me for 30 minutes. And then, of course, I end up with anxiety, and I never shut up. I pay money over at Starbucks, not because I like their coffee, because coffee tastes like shit. I go there because I can be in the safe way, get kicked out because I'm a customer, and people have to talk nice to me.
Yeah. There you go.
Although, you're not being a d***, and they're also not inside of the Safeway, so it's your problem. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think you're nice
Generally
because
a
you're
nice
paid
guy.
to be nice. I think you're nice because you're probably a generally nice guy.
I'm generally a nice guy. Try to be.
If someone fucks with your family, guaranteed you
I'll
won't
fuck
be.
them up.
Exactly. I don't have that option. I basically just have to be a loudmouth and say, hey, this motherfucker touched me in a place he shouldn't have, or touched my sister in a place he shouldn't have, or followed my family to a place that's none of their damn business. Folks don't understand what it's like to have to deal with real stalkers. But then, you know, out on the streets, if somebody bullies you and they're popular in an area and you're the new guy, they already know everybody. They're already friends with everybody that they need to be friends with. And anything that they want to get cross about, well, it doesn't end up being you versus them. It's you versus them and their friends and their family and everybody else. Small towns are real bad about that. In a big city, you can get away from that, but in a big city, nobody cares.
I got like one of the biggest families around here.
Well, they're good people, cool. If they're douchebags, I'm sorry. By the way, I judge you based on you.
Half of them are douchebags.
And that's about like my family. My little sister, she's probably the only good one in my well, she's nice. She tries to be religious, but then she also has a lot of real world fears. So it's hard to be religious when you're talking about, hey, the Jesus says to do this in this situation and this and that situation, but then you end up in the situation and you're like, well, I'm not going to send my kids out there to be raped by a mob. That's stupid. The Bible legit said to do that. Man, that's fucked up. And look what happens when you're nice to a homeless person. Come back like a lame dog repeatedly. I know it's not a bone, but it's close enough. I end up spending all my cigarettes on people who promise to help me, and then they show up and say, oh, I'm going to help. I just got to run errands for about 30 minutes. Could I get a cigarette? And then I see them 4 days later. Oh, dude, I got all caught up. Yep, I know you did. You went over to somebody who's got a house and a meth habit, and you shared with them. And then you just show up for 4 days. I don't fit in because I'm not a druggie. And then I can't go to the cops because I'm homeless. They'll just treat me like a druggie. Thank you for that.
Used to be.
I used to be an alcoholic.
I used to be that too.
Jesus, that sucks.
Well, 14 years clean, I got 10 years sober.
I don't care what anybody says, that alcohol is such hideous stuff to quit.
Yep. I was a dick for a while.
I got withdrawals from alcohol that people told me were heroin withdrawals, like the cold sweats, all my muscles seizing up, stuff like that. But I never got into heroin, so I don't know.
I never did that.
All right, I better let you have at least a few minutes of not having to deal with shitty customers.
You have a good day.
Thanks, Joe. Alright, I think the place opens at 10. It's 10:37. I brought a backup cam with me, just in case. It's been rained on a bit. Still works. It's not rusty, so it's definitely aluminum. Everybody hurts sometimes. What I really like to do is get some bullet shells and make some World War I trench lighters. Although I don't have manual dexterity for it. Better drive over to the library and take care of everything over there. I think I should get some of my stuff over at Brian's first, though. Hopefully he'll be home and up, but I'm not actually going over there to see him at the moment. I'm going over there to grab some of my stuff, make sure it's secured. Nice, I'll give him that. What's going on over there right now is really messed up. seeing all those drug addicts over there taking advantage of them the way they are, and also volunteering that it's a safe place for me to put my stuff. I made sure I checked with Ryan first, but with the situation as it is, it's unsafe for Ryan. How's it going to be safe for me? Or my belongings? He said he'd help me today with moving my stuff. The chances of him waking up before noon are almost non-existent. So fucking offline.